Uh, Always on time, very punctual people, uh, pretty professional people. Uh, yeah, good pretzels, good beer. Yeah, I did a bit of running and like athletics, and also played rugby one time for 1 year when I was a kid. But that didn't last too long. um, but yeah, actually, I started cycling when I was super young, like 6 years old or something. And yeah, it was mainly like the influence of like my dad. So he, basically started with me and my brother, like riding on the weekends and stuff when I was super young, and then then that sort of developed over the years. We started going to like the local club and training there, and then like doing racing with the local club, and then you start racing at like a state level, and then that turns into like a national level, and then that turns into international, and then before you know it, you're like coming over to Europe to race, and then then it gets pretty serious. So yeah, I mean it's definitely not like an easy uh, thing to do, I guess, as a Australian to you know you basically can't be a professional and live in Australia, and you can't be a professional only racing in Australia. So you really have to come over to Europe, from I would suggest to come to Europe from like a early age, and then really adapt to the racing here and the lifestyle and everything, because yeah, it's just completely different, like the style of racing and everything. So um, yeah, for like I said, for Australian guys, it's really pretty hard because you basically just have to pick your life up from Australia and then move it to Europe. So yeah, yeah, probably winning bike races, to be honest. Uh, yeah, I mean that's probably like the big motivator, but I will say I'm just super passionate about it. Like for me, it's like it's really like my dream job. So like you're getting paid to go out and ride your bike all day, every day. It's like, it doesn't really get much better than that for me, like, it's always what I wanted to do. So, yeah, if you can make your dream a reality, like, it's pretty awesome, I would say. When I was super young, I really used to like Robbie McEwen, actually, one of the older Australian sprinters. He was, yeah, when I first started watching the tour, I think it was in 2003 or something. And, there was the big battle between like him and Stuart O'Grady for like oh no, Stuart O'Grady was also then Baden Cook. Baden Cook actually won the green jersey that year. But yeah, there was just like this big battle between like the Australian guys, and as like a young cyclist, when you're watching, some Aussie guys like battle it out on the Champs Elysees for the green jersey and the stage, like it's pretty cool to watch. Um, so yeah, from a young age, I really looked up to like those. Yeah, funny enough, but it was like really like the sprinters that I really used to like watching, and then yeah, turns out sprinting wasn't really for me, so gave climbing a try instead. So yeah, I mean it sounds weird, but actually like when when you finish the race, and especially if you have like a good ride or something, or a good result, and then sort of like sitting on the bus afterwards and just like thinking about the stage, and like if it went well, then it's super nice to like replay the stage in your head, and think, you know remember like all the parts of the stage and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, obviously like pinning a number on and that sort of stuff is also super nice. Like, uh, yeah, and then yeah, also just like if it's a hard mountain stage, like the really solid like finale, like yeah, final climb's also really good. Pretty painful, but pretty nice at the same time, I wouldn't say it was that great. Small jersey, not super great. Yeah, probably like 6 or no, probably like 7. I would say 7. Yeah, for a few reasons actually. Yeah, I mean when I was I've been pro for 4 years now, I guess, and you start to like see how other teams race in races and how they look from the outside, and to me, uh, yeah, actually Bora always looked like a nice team to ride for, it always looked like a good group of guys, good atmosphere. They always race hard, they always race for the win, and for me that was like a big appealing factor, so yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's yeah, in some ways it's like quite similar to my old team. It's very like structured and organized, and I think for someone like me, I really appreciate that, and that works well with me. So yeah, but I mean, so far so good. It's been good fun and nice to meet like new people, and be in like the new environment, and just a complete change of scenery, So I'm enjoying it so far. Wow, there's a lot. Every day there's something, A good one was probably when my first race as a pro with Sunweb was in Algarve in 2018, and they had like this, like a speed suit, like the skin suit with the pockets. And I actually didn't try it on before the start, and I just put it in my bag, and I only took the speed suit. I didn't take like shorts and a jersey. I only had the suit. And I got to the start and I was putting it on the bus, and it was just like way too tight. Like I just hadn't tried it on, and I could barely get my legs through it. I could barely get my arms through it, and then I was really just like this, and I couldn't get food in my pockets, nothing. But I didn't have like the jersey, so I had to race in it, And then yeah, because you're Neo, and it was my first race. Like I was going back to get bottles, and I was like I went back to the car. The DS was giving me bottles. I was trying to put them down my skin suit, but I just couldn't. It was just so tight. And then in the end, I said, like, look, mate, like, I can't get bottles down here. It's just not going to happen. And then he had to, he was on the radio, like, guys, we need someone else to come get bottles. Like, Joe, I can't get bottles down his jersey, basically. And then I just rode back to the peloton, no bottles. It was just like, well, sorry, guys. It's like, yeah, for me, it was the worst, First race, you really, want to make a good impression, and then I couldn't even get bottles, so it was super embarrassing. Coffee for sure. Yeah, pretty big into music, I would say, like listening to music, not like playing an instrument or something, but just listening to music, making coffee, hanging out with friends, family when I get to see them, like watching movies. I don't know, all like the usual stuff, I would say. I don't think I have one real special hobby or something like that, but just enjoying everything, Pretty much everything. I listen to everything but country music. So yeah, but probably favourite genre would be I really just like old school hip hop, like that 90s era of hip hop's pretty cool. Just more travel, I would say. I mean, it's actually, with COVID and everything, I haven't been able to travel as much as I would like, and it sounds pretty funny, but actually probably just see more of Australia. I mean, it's such a big country, but I haven't actually travelled. I've been to all the big cities and stuff, but never actually been to the centre or never been up north or that sort of stuff. So my parents actually own like a big van, and they have like it's not like a camper home, but it's like a van with like, bed, shower, kitchen and everything. So I think next time I'm back in Australia, maybe take that and travel around a bit, I would say. Oh, probably languages. Yeah. Yeah. Be pretty nice to be able to speak to, different, different people with their own language, actually. So that's also a hard one. I don't know. Maybe I can make a pretty good curry every now and then. So yeah, I really like Indian food. So when I'm back home, usually make like a curry, I don't know, once every week or every 2 weeks or something. So probably just nice walks in nature, or like, bit of hiking, or listening to music's also nice. Good bottle of vino maybe also goes down pretty good. I'm getting deep with the questions. I mean, hopefully steward this team. Hopefully have some successful years, actually. Would be pretty nice. And as a person, I don't know. Hopefully not too much changes, but I guess, change is always good. But maybe still living in Europe. Maybe a bit more mature, maybe a bit more like of an adult. So, we'll see. Probably it's a lifestyle. So, like with that, I mean, it's not, with cycling, it's, I mean, for a professional anyway, it's more like a lifestyle than a job or a hobby, It's really like everything. Whether you want it to be that or not, it's really like you eat, sleep and breathe it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's eat, sleep and breathe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I only put my numbers on the day of the race, not the night before or something. So like the morning of the race, I only put my numbers on then. I don't know. Some guys are like pretty superstitious with the salt and the pepper and shaving the legs and all that, but for me it's just like not so much, but just like numbers. I only pin the numbers on race morning. A good one I think would be like if you were going to a desert island or something, you have like 3 music albums you have to pick. What would you take?